I'm Anthony Farrow, and I'm here to help you create sci-fi with little or no money. If you got the drive, all it's going to cost is your time. Today we're making sci-fi blasters for under $10. What's great about this build is just about everything you'll need you can find at the dollar store. A few items you might have to get at the Home Depot, but you get their name brand items. I love making these because they're inexpensive and they're super easy to make and they look really cool. So let's get started. All right, let's start off with a quick shopping trip to the dollar store. You're gonna need a toy gun or a squirt gun, a wide paintbrush, grab some sandpaper, I like the blocks. We're gonna need some instant glue. Let's get some craft paint. We'll need one metallic and one brown. Then pick up a utility knife so you have a fresh blade. It's the only tool that I use. And now we're gonna take a quick trip over to the Home Depot for some 97-cent black primer spray paint. Once we have everything on our list, we can get started. First, set up your work area. You just want a clean, organized area so you can just blow through this. It's pretty simple, so let's just keep it organized. We're gonna start with the sanding. We just want to do a light sanding, just take off the shine to give it a surface for the paint and the glue to stick to. Once the sanding is done, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to alter the profile of the blaster. This is an important step because this is what's going to make it not look so much like a toy squirt gun. Once you start altering the profile with little greeblies, that's when it really comes to life. We're gonna cut off anything that obviously makes it look like a squirt gun. For this one, we're cutting off this cap. I found these alien toys for $1 and they had these little guns. So this gun is a perfect little greebly that I'm going to put onto this to give it a nicer profile. And I repurposed this cap, flipped it around, and now it looks great on there. Next, we're gonna glue down all these parts. You can use super glue. I prefer to use hot glue. I just find it easier to work with. Now I'm gonna position this gun right about here. That gives it just a cooler profile. So let's glue this all down, give it a moment to dry, and then we move on to the next step. This is my favorite part. Right at this point, it just looks like a toy made by a deranged child. Let's just clean it off, check if there's any more spots that we missed, and this is where the magic happens. We're gonna hit it with some black primer. The primer fuses it all together. For me, I live in an apartment, so I take this outdoors. Once that's done drying, now we're gonna bring it to life. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna dry brush it. Dry brush is just a great technique to give something the effect of metal, and at the same time it makes it look a little lived in, a little warm. So it's just a perfect technique for this. Because of the shape of this particular gun, it just calls to me for a two-tone paint job. I'm going to be doing a metallic blue and a metallic silver. And we're just going to use a tiny bit of paint and we're going to brush that thin, and we're going to brush it so that the paint is dry on the bristles. And then we're going to take our gun and we're just going to kiss it. We're going to paint the whole thing, just a light brush. And I would start with the bottom if you've never done this before, just to get the hang of it. Like I said, in this case, I'm going to do a second color. So this, I'm not going to mask it off. I'm just going to hit it with a brush, and now we let that dry. Now, once that's done, this is an extra step you don't have to do or you can do. I just seal it with a clear coat. Now, we could stop there, but to really make this pop and to bring it to life and to give it a professional look, we're going to weather it. We're going to brown it up. We're going to take our brown paint. I'm going to mix it with a little black. So what we do is you take the brown and black, we just dab it in there, you know, in the corners or the creases, places where dirt would build up, and you just rub it off. And there's no exact science to this, you just feel it out. It just adds a layer that makes our mind register that this is an actual object in the real world. So now this looks great. And looking at it in the shop, it's something to be proud of, but it's out of context. All right, so now we have the blaster in hand. It's outside of the shop. It's in the world, interacting with my clothes, moving around. It looks great. I'm very happy with this. So the only thing left to do now is to fire it up. I'm sorry, I never get tired of that. So if you found this video helpful, please subscribe, comment, like. Be sure to sign up for our email newsletter. And remember, I'm just here to help create sci-fi.